Hey everyone, this is Tell the Truth Radio. I'm gonna tell you the truth about the NBA playoffs. KD and Booker do what they had to do in Game Three. They combined 86 out of the 121 points that Phoenix scored. They win 121-114. I'm your host Ron Fitch. I'm gonna break this game down. They Booker and Kevin Durant overwhelmed the Nuggets in the first half. They're up 62-47. I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna destroy the Nuggets. This is gonna be their home. The crowd is electric. And lo and behold, Denver came storming back. Jamal Murray was big. He kind of gassed out in the fourth quarter, but he was most of his 32 came in the third quarter. They came all the way back and took the lead. So when the fourth quarter came, it's nip and tuck, and like, uh-oh, can the Nuggets get a 3-2 lead, 3-0 lead, and pay the Suns back for a couple of years ago when they got swept? But Booker got in foul trouble, and then Payne, Cameron Payne was the third guy that was really, really big. It wasn't the points, it was the slick way he ran the court. He was plus three. He had 6 assists, and he stabilized the team. He played good. He played hard. He showed great leadership. And that allowed the Suns to do what they had to do. And I'm going to say something. TJ Warren's been terrible. But 5 of his 7 points came in the fourth quarter, hit a big three and another big two, and that helped. But another unsung hero was Jock Landale uh, from St. Mary's College. I'm gonna give him some love. He was great in the middle. He played with fire. He had 9 big rebounds. He was plus 10. Because Aiton is just ugh, he ain't no he just you really look at Aiden like, could you try a little harder? It's the playoffs. He has talent, but he's so soft. And Landale came in there, and what's happening is Monty Williams is playing Landale in the fourth quarter now, which is big. And now they got a good enough defensive team out there with Booker and Landale and Payne. And if Craig is out there, they can have it. Or Kogi, who was good on defense. Now you're set because you got a liability out there with Aiton. But I love Denver fought. Denver played hard. Denver didn't just say, okay, we're up 2-0, we'll give them the game. Denver gave it their all, but they were overwhelmed by KD and Booker. And KD and there's Booker. I have a newfound respect for Booker, man. And you know what will always stabilize an offense is mid-range shots. You got two guys who are just giving you, they're going to give you threes, but they don't have to. Mid-range shots, you could always, it's a higher percentage. Of course, it's a three-point shooting league, but you're going to get your threes. But if you keep hitting the other team with sledgehammer mid-range shots over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and you'll score layups when you get to the basket. That's going to open up. You're going to get enough threes, but Booker and KD hitting you at mid-range shots all game long. He had 47 points. He had a couple threes, but most of the 47 points were just mid-range shots. You can still do that in the NBA. And that's what they did all game long. And they willed their team. They just said, we're not going to go down 3-0. And now they're in the series, and game 4 is the swing game. Denver's going to try again to try to get this because if it's 2-2, Phoenix almost had Denver game 2. Phoenix is capable of walking into Denver with KD and Booker. Crowd loud, it don't matter. They can take a game 5. But now, can Denver win in Phoenix? That's the question I want to know. Of course, Joker and Murray were great. And Porter was really good. He was sensational. Gordon was solid, played good defense. Brown, Green, they did what they had to do. I mean, Jokic 30, Murray 32, Porter 21, Gordon give you 9. Cole Pope didn't do nothing. And he didn't defend well, and this was a bad game, and they're going to need him. he hit some big shots in game 2. They're going to need him to play better. This is all hands on deck against those monsters, against Durant and Booker coming at you over and over and over. And Durant started out slow, found his range, and went to the basket a lot. That he hasn't done. He's got to keep doing. If they're going to win the series, he got to keep doing that. But I love how Phoenix played. Very impressed. Game 4 is a swing game. Denver's going to want to go 3-0 and get these guys out of here. Because the longer the series goes, more favors the super duper stars with Booker and Durant. Murray and Jokic are great. Booker and Durant was better. And can they be better every single game? That's going to be the key. And then can somebody else show up? Porter showed up. Now Payne was good. Payne showed leadership. Caldwell Pope has gotta be better because you got to have a completely well-rounded team because you're not going to stop Durant and Booker. So you got to score. You got to really be super duper efficient in your offense because you can get some stops, but you just can't. And Booker is going to hit the shot in your face. It's beautiful because he'll pull up and he puts the right arc on the shot. It's just beautiful to watch. And he takes his time. He makes his move. Sometimes he'll go to the basket when he has to, but when it's not there, he could raise up and take shots in traffic and make them. And that's so big to an offense. And Durant, it's not that he just shoots over the defense. He just finds a spot. If you don't steal the ball from him, you're not going to jump his. You're not going to get over. He's over 7 feet tall. And when he shoots that jumper, it's just him and the rim. So you got to hope he misses a lot of times. So that's the conundrum that the Nuggets face, but it's 2-1. Cannot wait to talk about game 4 because it's going to really set the tone for the rest of the series. All right, I'm going to break down the Lakers and the Warriors. Okay. Tale of 2 games. First game was just a virtuoso by the Lakers and their defense, and they were up 14 late in the game. And Golden State came storming back with 21 threes, but AD was fantastic with 30 points and 23 rebounds. And man, that's as good as he could play. And they end up winning. Poole misses a 3, and they end up winning. And everybody say, oh, LA they're in good shape. But knowing LA like I know, they let up. And you can't let up with Golden State because in that first game, Golden State showed how good they were in the defeat. The way they were explosive, and it was a 14-point lead late in the 4th quarter, and Golden State just exploded. Clay, Steph, and Poole just hitting threes and making plays and making enough defensive plays, and they ran out of time. But this game, they're going to be desperate, and if LA lets up at all, even in LA, they're going to get beat up. And you always want to avoid those 20-0 runs and those 45-point quarters that Golden State have put on you, and they did that yesterday. They annihilated LA. They had a 41-point quarter and a 43-point where they had 84 points in 2 quarters, and that's how do you do it. And it was just a beatdown. Klay Thompson, who shoots well against LA. Maybe it's his father thing because I watched Michael Thompson win a championship for my Lakers in 88 and 87. And he's going to like, Dad, watch this. And he's shot a lot better in this series than in Sacramento. And Green was more aggressive, 11 points, 11 rebounds, no technicals. That's a costly technical, too, because it could have been a 2-point game if he doesn't get that technical. You don't need that long 3-point pool. That was and he knew that, and he said so. I respect that. He said, I'll be better. He was better. He was more aggressive. And Curry's Curry. He had 12 assists because Curry said, okay, I knew I went off the first game. I'm going to go off a little bit. I'm going to be a little more aggressive. Because of the shot blocking of LeBron and AD, the great ones adjust. So Curry adjusted and said, I'm going to adjust and I'm going to drive, then dish. And they were able to do that a lot. And Looney and Green and the other guys were able to score layups, which opened the door. And then they just annihilated them and they won a game. And that's Golden State. And LA, they play great at home, but this is the thing: they're not going to win they're not going to win games 3 and 4 in LA like they did Memphis. This is different. The mistakes you make and get away against Memphis, you don't against Golden State. And I was critical of Golden State in the Sacramento series because they were a little sloppy, and they still could be sloppy, but they're the champs. And they got a tenacious mentality that you better match. And LA matched it and won. LA has to match it all game long. And what I see is at times Beasley and Russell miss assignments and try to shoot the gap on the way that Klay Thompson is and the whole team is perpetual motion with Golden State, but Klay Thompson and Curry are always in motion. So if you're undisciplined, like Vanderbilt was solid, so Curry's like, he's playing great defense on me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let the others eat, or I'll try to come off the screen and come off the pick and drive. He'll block my shots, so I'll dish and be smart. But if Russell's guarding him, he's just going to do whatever he wants. Because Russell will shoot the gap and Beasley will shoot the gap. And if you do that and you're trying to cheat, you're going to get burned. And you're going to get burned repeatedly. And they'll make you pay. Like the one play, like AD was just lackadaisical. And he's great, and he's bad, and he's great, and he's bad, and he's and one play defined the whole game was he just threw a casual bounce pass to Reeves cutting for an open layup. It was a bad bounce pass, went out of bounds. Golden State comes down and shoots a three. Any mistake, silly mistake, where you get a sure basket, you don't make it against Golden State, they're going to come down and they're going to hit a three. They're going to make you pay. And then the league gets grown. Then the league grows. Now you're screwed. Now the game's over. And you're like, wow, how did that happen so fast? That's what they do. They're the champs. If you want to be the champs, and this is the thing, LeBron and AD have to go inside more. AD and the Lakers don't close, and they don't get back on defense as good. They got to get back on defense, or you don't win a single game in the series. And AD and LeBron, they're bigger. And when they go inside, Golden State can't do anything about that. But they just don't want to. If you're out there shooting and AD's not going inside, I know Draymond's a crafty defender. You got to go after him. He'll steal the ball. He'll defend you well. Keep doing it. Keep going in. Keep pounding. Keep pounding. Keep pounding. Keep pounding. Because what they'll do, they'll open the double teams. Now your three-point shooters are more open. Now you have a better chance. LeBron's got to go inside. You can't just sit on the outside, dribble, maybe take a three. I know he's good at the elbow threes. Can't do that. Got to operate in the post and do a little magic and run the point in the post. Dish it out. Go hard. Use your strength against the thinner Golden State Warriors. Make them have to make all types of adjustments. And now you're in good shape. Can't shoot the gap against. Got to take away. You're doing good. You're leaving Green and the non-shooters open. That's smart, but you got to shoot the gap because you can't give them everything. And Klay and Curry are going to hit threes. But what you got to do, you have to be disciplined. Take as much of their airspace away the whole game and make them take a lot of tough threes. They're going to make some, especially Curry. Okay, we got to live with that. But you just can't give them open. A lot of teams shoot threes, and I complain about the people shooting too many threes. Now Golden State, they're the greatest three-point shooting team in the history of the sport. So you better defend that three, but you also have to play assignment defense. You're playing the scheme. You're not playing Curry and Thompson. You're playing Steve Kerr's scheme that implements the superstars of the game. Okay? That's what makes Golden State great. Now, LA, they're going to have to – LeBron's going to have to be great on the road. They're going to have to win a Game 5 with the series tied. They're probably going to have to go. And if they don't do that, they're going to have to win a Game 7, which is Golden State. It's just they love that. They've been there, done that. So LA's going to have to do something which is going to show a lot of toughness and a lot of character because you're not going to just go in this to the crypto arena and just get two and like you did and then run Memphis and beat them in a close game. You might get stung. How do you react to getting stung at home? Do you react with character and win it back? Or you win big in Game 3 and lose Game 4? Do you have enough character to shake that off in one game. That's what champions do. Are you a championship team? I know Gold State is, but is this group with a older LeBron James and AD that sometimes comes to play? Are they built tough enough to win it? I know Golden State is. Okay, it was like a whole hum, solid road win for the Boston Celtics. The first two games, James Harden went crazy in the first game and went off on the Celtics and did what he had to do, and he played great. And then the second game, the Celtics annihilated the Sixers. All right. This game, I had that feeling if Harden didn't go off along with Embiid, if they were together like a little Shaq and Kobe action, they were going to get beat because I knew the Celtics was going to come in and try to steal a road game, establish their dominance over the Sixers. All right. And they did. And other than the first quarter where it was close, the Celtics won every quarter. They were just better. They crowded Embiid. He got his points, but they made sure the others didn't go crazy. Harden was horrible. And here we go again. Because I did research from the Houston days to now, and Harden had some 40-point games, 30-point games, and when you really need him, he has some bad, puzzling performances where he looks listless or looks like he can't make a shot. You can hear the Philly fans trying to be patient with him, but you can hear the little boos because they're like, okay, that's enough. There's a little buddy shot that he missed, and the fans like, oh, gosh, come on, Harden. And the Celtics were able to take advantage. One thing that Boston did all night was get Embiid on a switch and make him be the high perimeter defender. Brown and Smart didn't do it as efficiently, but Brown and Tatum did it all night, just driving on him, making him. And he was trying. He was game, but he couldn't get to those drives. He was trying to get that block, but they were a little quicker, and they were doing it over and over and over again. They would draw fouls, or they would get around the basket, or they get past them and set up. Horford is not really going to miss wide open shots. He doesn't take contested shots. He doesn't really post you up. He just sits there, defends and rebounds, and then he's going to sit and wait at the 3-point line. And if he's open and you're going to leave him open, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay dearly. And the Sixers paid dearly because he had 17 points. And White was solid with 13 points. But Brogdon, in that third quarter, Brogdon was hit 2 threes, and he had 15 points, 3 assists, 6 assists and 3 rebounds. He was fantastic. But Tatum and Brown had 50 points between them and 17 rebounds and 10 assists altogether. Just fantastic. That's what you want your two go-to guys to do, and they did what they had to do on the road. The Philly crowd was quiet. The Celtics are in control. The Celtics are going to try to get another one. They're going to try to want to finish this in 5. Harden's got to show up. He's got to show up. Be aggressive. Even if you miss your shots, go put it between your legs. Go. I understand the symmetry is a work in progress with Embiid, but come on, man. Shaq and Kobe didn't get along and won 3 straight titles because they were perfect. They played fantastic. Coach Phil Jackson in triangle was just perfect for them, but Doc Rivers got to figure it out. They got to talk to Harden, but listen, I need the aggressive Harden. If Embiid doesn't get some shots, so be it. Embiid will get his. When he gets his touches, it'll be fine. But you got to clear everybody out. You got to operate sometime and do what you got to do. You got to dance a little bit, get going, because once he gets going now, they can't win another game without him and Harden getting going. Because what that does, and Maxey was off. He had 13 points. He's 4-16. He's got to be better. But it allows Maxey, it allows Harris and Melton and Niang to go. And he does do it. And when Embiid comes out, that's when I tell him to be aggressive with Embiid. But when Embiid takes a break, I'm telling Doc Rivers, listen, you got to go to work. I don't care if you're missing shots. Keep taking them. Keep going to the back. Keep being aggressive. Eventually, your aggression will pay off because like it did in game 1. That's what I need that hard. And Harden, after the interview of game 1, he was like, hey, I didn't do that. I just, allow the others. So I could listen. I don't want to hear no excuses. Go, go be tough. Go be great in this postseason. If Embiid and Harden play well together, they'll win the series. If they don't, and it's just Harden or just Embiid, they're going out in 5 because Boston is going to be Boston, and the Boston don't turn the ball over. She's not going to turn them over that much. Game 1, they turned it over. That was uncharacteristic. They're usually solid on offense, and they're sound, and they're fundamentally sound. And Jaylen Brown's coming every night. Tatum is sometimes he's had a couple bad games, but he'll come right back and be great. And that's what he was. And Boston's going to be Boston. Boston's looking to finish the Sixers off. And the Sixers have to take their game offensively and defensively, especially offensively. And Harden has got to show up. I got to see the James Harden that plays his potential. Like you said after game 1, I could do that anytime. Do it. I dare you to show up in game 4. Knicks Heat. Okay, this is big for the Knicks, big for the Heat. Can the Heat get these 2 games and continue to put pressure on the favorite like they did the Bucks and go up 3-1? And even if you don't close them out in the guard, you could close them out in Miami in 6 as kind of the model of what they might want to do. But can the Knicks even this series, win game 3? And if you don't win game 4, 5 and 7 are in that garden, and you're getting healthier. But then there's Jimmy Butler. But if you get to game 7 in the garden, I'm riding the Knicks. This series comes down to who has a 3-2 lead in game 6. If it's Miami, Miami can close them out. If it's the Knicks, even if they lose, I like them in game 7. For the Knicks to even win a game in Miami, which will be hard because Caleb Martin is awoken. And Adebayo has awoken. He had 15, 6, and 8 the last game. Caleb is averaging over 20 in this series. But the Knicks have to take out the head of the snake. That's Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry went off in game 1. Kyle Lowry is a disruptive force. He's a pain in the neck. He's an older player, but he's a pain in the neck. He'll draw charges. He'll get steals. He'll just hustle. He'll flop, but he'll work because he's smart. He'll hit tough shots. Don't mind hitting the big shots in that 4th quarter to go along with Butler, helping Butler out. And you got to make sure Kevin Love is not open. But you got to defend Butler well. But you can't. Butler is a willing passer. He'll go off in the 4th quarter, but he doesn't mind giving it to Love and Martin and Duncan Robinson. They'll hit their threes. And I'm curious about the crowd. I know the Garden crowd rocks, but this Miami crowd doesn't always go crazy. But the sight of the Knicks get them going. This will be a louder, this place, and there'll be a lot of Knicks fans, but there'll be a lot of Heat fans that are offended that the Knicks fans are. This place is going to be loud, like the Garden, but in a different kind of way. When the Knicks score, you can hear it. When the Heat fans score, it's not going to be a laid-back situation because it's a nasty rivalry. This is just going to be I love this series. It's not as beautiful as Golden State and LA and Denver and Phoenix are great up and down stars making plays, but this is just a gritty, grindy, tough Brunson and Butler. The stars are tough-minded, making tough shots. And it's going to come down to the 4th quarters of these games, and the Knicks were able to survive that 4th quarter, but the Heat were able to take over the 4th quarter game 1, and game 2, the Knicks were able to survive. The Knicks have to do better. Brunson was better in game 2. Brunson's got to be great, but Brunson's got to be judicial too. He's got to be able to score and make sure that the advantages the Knicks have in Hartenstein, and Hartenstein's been the energy guy. I love everything about Hartenstein, how he's played. Can he take down the road? 9 rebounds, a lot of offensive rebounds. RJ Barrett, he's got to keep going to the basket. He's got to be in the 20s if he have to win. Julius Randle, go to the basket. You're going to make some threes, but those 2 guys have to go to the basket because hard is going to be hard. 14, 11, and 9, hard, that's hard. They have to rim protect. They got to be. The Knicks have to be the better defensive team in this in these games in Miami, and they've been great on the road. They've won all their games on the road. So we'll see if that continues. But Miami's going to get, I believe the series will be split, but this is going to be the hardest road game. This is tougher than Cleveland. This is going to be hard to beat Butler and those monsters in the fourth quarter in their building. But the Knicks can split. I believe they could get game 5 at home, lose game 6, and then game 7's in the Garden. I believe the Knicks can take it. But they got to win a game in Miami. They got to win this game 3.